Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to another Canadian Immigration Live Q&A. I'm your host, Mark Holthe. Let's get our audio adjusted here so that you fine folks can hear me. I think that's a little bit better. Oh, there we go. Every time my dog Simba jumps up beside me here, he looks out the window in my office and he's always adjusting my audio. So let's crank this up so you guys can hear me. I think this is good now. All right, so welcome back to the first live Q&A of 2022. Okay, yeah, hold it back. Hold back the applause. Wow, it has been quite the year that we saw behind us, 2021. Many people, you outlanders, waited patiently all year with no forward movement. Some of you, let's face it, some of you lost your opportunity or may have if you hadn't figured out some other ways to increase points for express entry, such as the whole French language thing. And, when you're looking at what's transpired over this past year, our immigration department has, they've had some pretty big successes. And what are those successes? Well, let's flip over here and we'll just pull this up and I'll show you. So I think in case some of you missed it, it was kind of quietly announced. But right before Christmas, December the 23rd, they announced that they had met their levels plan. In other words, that they had admitted 401,000. They'd met that target for 2021, which was a pretty audacious goal. Let's face it. The prospect of actually being able to land this many immigrants. Now, they did confirm, Minister Fraser did confirm, that the majority of these individuals that allowed them to reach the target were individuals that were already in Canada. And that's obviously where they were targeting, right? And we'll close that off of there, which makes sense because if the borders are closed and there's travel restrictions and there's problems, well, they're going to be trying to capture the low-hanging fruit, as we say. So if you're going through this, and as we look at this, one of the things that I want to point out, and this is something that they've identified right here, Minister Fraser confirmed that they surpassed the previous high water mark for immigrants to Canada in 1 year, which was set over 100 years ago in 1913. So this is the most newcomers in a year in Canadian history. And, let's face it, that's fairly significant. And I think this is a telltale sign of what is to come. Now, they had to get their room in order. They had to make their bed, whatever reference you want to say. They had to do this first before they could turn their eyes and set their targets on all of you outlanders. Now, I think everybody is probably at the stage now where we're wondering if there's ever going to be a world without the coronavirus. If there's ever going to be a world without COVID-19 or COVID-20 or COVID-21 or 22 or whatever you want to refer to it as, with the Omicron virus and the way the governments in the world are reacting to it and locking down again. I just took my son Adam down to school in Idaho over the weekend. We drove down on Sunday, and when we made those plans, Canadians could go down and come back on a single test without being required to redo it, which is great. We could do it here. We go down there. There's no problem. But when we went down there, we realized that because of the changes in the rules for Canada and those people looking to come back, all of the testing centers were booked up. So we were going to have to stay down there, well, probably till Friday. So today is Wednesday, January the 5th. And the closest test date that we could have was today, with a wait of up to 48 hours for the results. And so it was not looking good. And it was about an 8-hour drive from our home down to Idaho, down to where my son's going to school. And so when we went down there, we searched around, and the only place we could find was a rapid testing PCR facility in Great Falls, Montana, that charged the hefty fee of $150 US. So that's myself, my wife, and my daughter. But we didn't have any choice. I needed to get back. I needed to be here to do this for you guys, because through the Christmas break and through the New Year, we kind of took a little bit of a step back so we could spend time with my son before he's gone, and basically just spend a little bit of time with family. And so I did that that fishing one, the last live stream that you guys probably saw, I tried to do that from my phone, which was a little bit of a gong show, let's face it. So if we go back here to videos, you can see here, this one that I was trying to do here while I was riding with my brother in our vehicle. Actually, no, my son was driving, and I tried to answer questions, and wow, that was entertaining. I did catch some fish, but the reception wasn't good enough to be able to really broadcast. So anyways, long story short, 150, 300, 450 US is about $600 Canadian. And my goodness, I had not anticipated us needing to do that, but that's the rules for the government. And so even those of you in some countries that maybe don't have access to the vaccines that Pfizer and Moderna and the ones that are accepted in Canada, that's also a problem for you and causes problems to travel. And we also know, and we're looking into this because I'm trying to figure out who gave these amazing instructions. And I say that facetiously. But ultimately, we're now getting reports from panel physicians that they're not supposed to do immigration medicals for anyone that hasn't been vaccinated, which I've got huge issues with that, given the fact that it's not so easy for everyone to be vaccinated as we feel it is here in Canada. And some people have legitimate exemptions for health reasons. And so to have these blanket policies going out is really scary. And, you know, I want to call immigration out for that, because it's fine to have those policies, but you also have to recognize that there are people that fall outside the realm of what most people can do, and you have to accommodate for them. Okay, so that's what's been going on. Like I said here, Canada, right here, the headlines say it all, welcomes the most immigrants in a single year in its history. So that's one thing that's happened. We also know that, and you can look here, you can go and actually go, you can search up this news release here, December the 23rd, and it will take you here to the actual levels planning. And if you can see the economic one, this is the one that we're most concerned about. For this year, the target, you can see here, for 2021, right here, the target was about 108,500. Okay, that's kind of the mid-range target. High of 110. And as we go across here, you can see, and excuse me here, let me see if I can get over. Looks like it is, yeah, no, I can't drive it around. Maybe they just took a little excerpt here. Just looking to see if they've got this. There's the slider bar. I had to go way down there to get it. Okay, let's take a look at the other years. And I think we've talked a little bit about this. What are the targets for 2022 for this year? Are they going down, you guys? Are they going down? No, they're absolutely not. The high range is 420. The targets, well, sorry, the low range is 320. The high range is 420. And the target's 421,000. If we go to the economic categories, we can see here that the target's 113,000. So more than what they'd kind of envisioned or targeted for this year. So that's something I want you guys to take into consideration. And so if they are doing their best to flush out all the people within Canada, and that's what we've seen, where are these other immigrants going to come from? They're going to come from outside Canada. If we can get past this Omicron and whatever other viruses come along, you can see now that when it comes to travel restrictions, it's the vaccinations that the government is focusing on. So if you've got your vaccinations, you meet those requirements, there's no restriction to them issuing you your permanent resident visa and you being able to travel to Canada, subject to any country restrictions that were temporarily in place for a number of those African countries and others where the Omicron virus spiked. But the reality is, and I don't want to get into any discussions about the virus. I'm an immigration lawyer, not a health official or a doctor or anything like that. But we're just going to have to see how all of that plays out over this year. But I am very, very optimistic, you guys. Very, very optimistic for 2022. The government has put a significant amount of money into processing, millions of dollars into processing. You can go back and take a look at some of my past videos that I did. If I go to the videos and scroll down, I did projections for 2022, at least what I felt was going to be the direction that the government was going to take. So you can go check those out, but go back and look at the previous videos that I did. You can see what what to expect for all of you Outlanders. Go back. It was about 4 weeks ago I did this one, what to expect in 2022. So go back and watch that one, and I'll give you my rationales as to why I believe that things are going to open up. And then I also did another news release on the economic update right here, which I released about 3 weeks ago. And that economic update really tells a lot about the direction that immigration is going to go. And if you watch the money, you follow the money, you will see and be able to project where things are moving forward. So yes, there's restrictions and everything, but understand at this stage, I personally am taking the position that the future is bright for 2022. And I believe that I believe that 2022 is actually going to be the best year ever. So let's see how it plays out. All right, let's give a few shout outs here. Let's see if we've got room for this. Good evening. We've got Divine who's coming in here. Good to see you. AshTube says reapply for student visa on November 25th, SDS profile, student direct stream. Okay, well, that's good. Let's see here. We've got a bunch of people. And I also wanted to acknowledge, yes, I'm starting a little bit early here. So hopefully not too many people will be upset. I have a prior commitment that I have to get to right after 10 a.m. this morning. And so I had to start this one a little bit early. Okay. AG says, I want to change the DLI. Off-campus work done before dropping from school and after semester exam is valid. Okay. What am I going to tell people when they ask, what should I personally do? I need a whole lot more information, AG, than that. So in every case, I'm going to push you right over here and I'm going to tell you, book a consult, connect with Alicia, connect with myself or Chanel or Susan, and come and connect with us. And let's take a look actually at your real situation. And if we can get enough information from you, then we can actually give you advice that you can rely upon. Because ultimately, off-campus work done before dropping from school and after semester exams is valid. Are you quitting school? Like, are you leaving school? Are your classes just ending? You wanted to change. Are you dropping out? And is that the issue? Anyways, there's a whole bunch of factors that have to come into play here. Okay, let's scroll down here a little bit more. Harpreet, good to see you, my friend. Thanks for connecting in. Shatanya says, hey, good to see you. Happy New Year. PR card just got mailed out earlier today. Thanks for everything. We'll give you one of these, Shatanya. Sean, hey, Happy New Year to you, my friend. I love these previous these clients that are still coming back and people that have booked consults and retained the firm. And I love the fact that you guys are still a part of the family, engaging, sharing your success, because that's what I want to have for 2022. I want people to be coming on here all the time, sharing their huge success stories with all the rest of us, because there's going to be a lot to celebrate in 2022. I am going to be super optimistic. All right, Amir, Happy New Year to you. Joe, good to see you connected in from Arizona. How's it going, buddy? All right, we've got Muhammad who's over in Pakistan. Hello, Muhammad. Thanks for the shout out. Let's see who else we have here. We've got Noah. Those of you who are posting your questions, just throw them in and I'll just work through it as quickly as I can. Okay, Express Entry Profile. Do I have to mention the work experience I want to claim points, or I have to bring all work experience? I mean, the student general work experience or not? Thank you. Yeah, Sam, this is something that I teach all the time in my Express Entry masterclass. It's going to be probably launching here the end of January, February. If they do a draw, then I will probably open it up again for you Outlanders. But that's something that I teach in the course all the time. And the answer is no. You only need to put in your work history section the work experience that you want to claim points for, but everything needs to be included in your personal history after you get your ITA. All right. Okay, Divine says, how many years it takes the invitation visa immigrants to the United States of America? I don't think I understand your question, Divine. How many years it takes the invitation visa immigrants to the okay, if you're looking for processing times for visitors to Canada, let's take a look at this and I'll show you guys, and I'll show it once and then I'll skip through any other ones that are asking for processing times. Just search up processing times IRCC. You can see it right here. That probably is good enough. It'll take you here and then you can actually search and pull the answer up. So temporary residence, you're asking about a visitor visa. I think it's probably the US that you're asking about. So from outside Canada. And then where are you applying from? We'll just jump down here to the Estados Unidos. Okay, there it is. Get processing times. So right now you can see any types of visitor visa applications are taking a long time. But right now in the US, it says 86 days. All right. Okay, so there we go, Divine. Rupinder Deep. Hey. All right. Yes, wishing you a happy new year as well. Great to have you joining us. Oh, that reminds me. Oh, just give me a second here. I have to give a shout out. I wrote his name down right before we left to go. Yes. Okay. Right before we went to drive down on Sunday to take my son down to school, I walked into our local gas station and there was, I think it was Butterpreet Singh, I think was his name. Anyways, he was behind the counter, and that awesome fellow was he said, "Hey, I watch your YouTube channel all the time," and so he's a student here at the college and studying, I think, agricultural sciences is what he said here at Lethbridge College. And so big shout out to Buddha. It's awesome. I love it when I actually can see people in person. And when this whole pandemic goes away, I'm going to do a world tour and we're going to go around. I'm going to meet people and just celebrate this amazing world that we're in, and just get out and get some face-to-face contact with all of you. But I love it when I go to, gas stations or restaurants and I see all of you out there. So if you ever run into me or you see me, please stop me, say hello. So Butar, who's like 3 or 4 blocks down from me here in the gas station, the Circle K, big shout out to you, my friend. Thank you. Okay, there we go. All right, let's see here. Oh, yeah, an Ashtube, this one here, reapplied. When can I expect my results from IRCC? You got to check the processing times. Okay, Janeth, Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year. Oh, Yaroslavna, Happy New Year. Yes, to you and your family as well. Thank you. Thesura, hello. Happy New Year to you. I love these Canadian Immigration Institute alumni. I love when you guys come back. This is awesome. All right, Gurnam, hello to you. And yes, Muhammad, I think we gave you a happy New Year back to you as well. Okay, Desi says, do you think they will open up another pathway for healthcare workers? It's entirely possible. Where the demands are, where the shortages are, that's where more than likely, if there are new programs, they're going to be created to accommodate for that. And healthcare workers are absolutely one of those areas in need. Gurnam, Happy New Year to you. Yes, 2022, best year ever, you guys, best year ever. Diana, hello, greetings from Colombia. FSW PPR is going to pick up speed in 2022. I think you guys are already seeing it. And you can comment here if that's the case. Give me thumbs up, whatever's possible. But the reality is, yes, we're already starting to see that. If you remember the videos that I did previously, I'm going to keep pointing you guys back to here. If you go back and you look at the this one right here, the breaking news, Canada spend more money on immigration. Some of the things that I talk about specifically are the extra money that they're attributing or applying to deal with the backlogs. And those backlogs include the FSW individuals that are outside of Canada. So yes, and I think the reports, everybody that we've seen is reporting that things are starting to move forward quickly. Okay, Gurnam says, why IRCC does not update the processing time for study permits according to application numbers? My friend, that is not something that I can answer. I know, I will tell you something, that I've got a very, very interesting Immigration Nation. If you go back here to the site and you go to the playlists here and you scroll down, you'll see that one of the playlists I have, if I can find it here, is Immigration Nation. And so this playlist right here, if you haven't watched this one on how your visa gets refused, you've got to join me. But I am bringing back, by popular demand, let's see if we can scroll down and we can find him. Where's LJ? Right here. My study permit statistics expert. That is Lou Jansen Danzigal. He, study permit, Canada approval rates, and other statistics. He's coming back to join me here in the next couple weeks. So watch for that. It's going to be on the Immigration Nation playlist. And yes, we'll maybe be able to dive in and get into a little bit more depth what's going on with that, Gurnham. Okay. Happy New Year to you, Tajinder. Great to see you here in this new 2022 year. Okay, Amir says, for post-grad extension, I have to apply just on paper? What is the mailing address? What form should be filled? I haven't found a clear guideline. Okay, my friend, same story. Get on over here. And this is where I should probably get back to this right there. Hear that little buzz? Get over here and book a consultation with us, okay? Let's dive in and we can help you. And in that short little 25 minutes, we can explain everything to you. It's no postgrad extensions don't have to be, well, I'm going to leave it at that. When it comes to the mailing address, forms, all that kind of stuff, it's not possible for me to give you specific details. And here, Amir, the last thing in the world I want to do is give you misinformation. Book a consult. Let's jump in and we can walk you through the whole process. We can set you up. And we even have our collaborative review model, which is the way we at Healthy Immigration Law practice. So you guys maintain control of your file. You maintain the conduct and the communication with immigration. We're always available in the background. And we fully disclose that you've retained us to assist you in preparing your application. But you're the one who has control. And we're here as a support to you. So we love to work with DIYers at heart who are individuals like you guys that are watching this video right now. Okay, Anurag says, since this was TR to PR, they achieved 401. The speed at which they are processing outline applications, I'm all but sure they won't hit the 411 this year. Anurag, I disagree 100%, my friend. 100%. I believe fully that they will hit the 411K. So the only reason that they did the TR to PR was to capture the people that were in Canada and to reward, remember, the essential workers that are out on the front lines in the midst of the pandemic when there weren't vaccinations available. And so, yeah, so I'll disagree politely, Anurag, but I welcome your comment. And I guess we'll see how it plays out when we do this for 2023. Okay, Adam says, Alex says, I applied for my study permit abroad and got refused based on immigration status. Would applying for my home country address this issue? Thank you, Mark. Same story, my friend. I'll click on that. There's so many facets to this. And right now, we've been doing a ton of these, Alex, a ton. I'll push you back over here once again to the consult, but many of our consults are specifically addressing, like Alicia, this is what she does all the time. And also when it comes to Chanel here as well, her and I, Chanel, have been tag teaming on a ton of these exact questions that you have. You know, problems with people who've had refusals. What do I do? How do we fix it? How do we correct it? Well, and I'll also point out, and I keep flipping back to screen to screen to screen, but this one right here, how your visa gets refused, update on the Chinook system, that's what we're talking about here. So go and watch that video if you haven't, Alex, because you'll get a ton of insight. Book a consult. Let us help you. That short little period of time is going to be super helpful in determining the best way of moving forward. Okay, Sam says, can I renew my passport after an ITA is issued in express entry? I mean, while I'm waiting for the PR decision, do I have to withdraw the profile and apply again with the new passport information? No, you can always update it. And once again, this is something that I cover in the course. So some of you are probably wondering, what is Mark talking about with this course? Let's jump over here. Immigration Institute. Let's see if we can find it. Yes. Okay, I'll flip this over here. So here's the Canadian Immigration Institute. I think there's a link in the bottom to, well, I'm not sure if there is, but if you go to the Canadian Immigration Institute, it will take you here, and then you can click on see our courses, and you can see right here, January the 10th to the 15th, this is where you can go, and we are going to be opening the cart for this in the next day or so, and you can come and join me if it's, you know, those of you who are looking to sponsor your spouse from abroad, this course is specifically for you. This masterclass is specifically for you. So click on here to get noticed, to get notified. And you'll see here as well, I have February, March here as kind of the next express entry course, which is coming soon. And you can also click here to learn more and get notified about the course. And many of the individuals that are on right now, like we've got Thesura right here. I can't remember who else we have that we've already given a shout out to, but lots of previous alumni of the Canadian Immigration Institute's Express Entry course continue to join us to this day. So yes, Sam, study permit refusals are a reality, and there's federal court litigation going on right now with the way in which they're refusing applications. So there's a number of factors, Sam, and I'm positive that there's things that you can do to increase your chances. Yeah. And sorry, Sam was asking about the passports. Sorry. I've got so much going on. I meant Alex. The consults, we can deal with those and help you to sort out what the options are. For Sam here, there's no problem with updating, and you can go in to adjust. You can modify your information within your profile, and you should be able to change your passport information in there without too much issue. Okay. All right. Jennifer, Happy New Year to you. Let's see who else we've got. Mohammed says, can I use the medical I did for my study permit in my express entry application if I get an ITA? I did the study permit last month, but the medical type is student. You know, Mohammed, when you're applying for express entry, I wouldn't use that one. I'm assuming you don't yet have your ITA. Unless you're a PNP candidate for within Canada. And if that's the case, you don't need to upload a medical. If you want to include one that was done for the purposes of your study permit, I would probably discourage you from doing that initially. The level of assessment that's done for the purposes of temporary applications is typically excessive demand exempt. So when you're temporary, they don't look at whether or not you're going to cause an undue drain on Canadian health or social services when you're coming to study temporarily or to work temporarily. But for permanent, it's different. So sometimes the assessments that they do, there's no difference, but I would be very, very reluctant, Mohammed. And even in the course of express entry, they don't ask for the medical upfront in the way that they used to when you're in Canada like this. So I wouldn't use that one. I would wait for instructions is what I would do, Mohammed. But I don't know if you've got your ITA yet or not. Okay. Okay, Bill. I'll address Bill, and this is where I'm going to call out Bill. So Bill says the TR to PR received AOR biometrics done since August 2021. No update after. Worst stream to apply in. Bill, there are probably 100,000 people right now who would do anything to be in your position. And I'm going to call you out because this program, maybe you qualified for another one. Maybe you had an option through express entry. You know, maybe you're a skilled worker and you've got the 1 year and you could have gone faster. But the reality is that program for many, many people, many that I've had a consult with has been the program that, yes, it's been slow, but it's been the opportunity. It's been the one single chance that they have to become a permanent resident of Canada when none existed before. And they're more than happy to wait a year and a half, even 2 years if they have to, if it means ultimately that they're going to get permanent residence. And maybe for you, Bill, maybe you've got other options. And so I encourage you to pursue them. But in terms of the worst stream to apply in, nope, it is absolutely not. And I think some of you guys don't remember. Well, you have no clue what permanent residence was like before express entry was created, before the efforts that Canada has made to reduce the processing times. How long does it take to go from, say, an H-1B status to some form of green card or PR status in the US if you're from India? I don't know. How long does it take? What are we talking about here? August 2021? Are we talking about, March, let's see, May? Are we talking about 7 months, 8 months? I don't think so. It's probably like 7 years, 8 years, or maybe 70 years or 80 years. And in the world of permanent residence in Canada before express entry was created, the Federal Skilled Worker Program or the Canadian Experience Class, the CEC wasn't as bad, but the Federal Skilled Worker Program in some countries was up to 7 years to process. Like people would be dead by the time it was finalized. So understand how anxious people are to getting their applications approved as quickly as possible. But, blanket statements like the TR to PR pathway is the worst stream to apply in. I think it just lacks context. And for you, I know there's impatience and you want it to get done, but I love that program. excuse me, that program opened up so many doors for so many people. And yes, the processing times are longer, but I'm just so grateful that they did open it up. Okay, no word yet, Chowdhury, on the CEC draws. Let's wait and see. If we look right now, and let's go back and take a look at these. These are always fun. Rounds of invitations, EEIRCC. I'll pull it up. We click on the link here. Let's see what we got, guys. Any draws? December the 22nd. So same thing, last draw PNP, but we're overdue, aren't we? It's time. So when did this one happen? This one actually happened later in the afternoon. And so it seems like now when we're doing our live Q&As, they used to actually release it right after 10 a.m. in the morning. It was noon Eastern time. And we're not quite seeing that as much now. But if you look at this November the 24th and we go back and look at the previous rounds, you guys can see that we're due. So December 10th, December 22nd, January 5th. And if you go back to the CEC PNP, you can see that often they did the PNP on the Wednesday and then the CEC on the Thursday. So let's just see. But I can tell you guys, the moment we see anything, and I would love for a wonderful 2022 big CEC round, and even better than that, an FSW round. Wouldn't that be unbelievable? Or what they describe as no program specified draw, which is basically an open season one. So we'll see how that all plays out. But I haven't heard any official word yet. I'll have my meetings with immigration again this month. They'll resume, and hopefully we'll get some more insight on what they're planning to do. Okay, Prakash says, what about Caregivers 2020 applicants? Yeah, any paper-based application, they're just stalling out, my friend. And I'm not sure if we can pull it up on the processing, if we're looking up the processing of applications. I don't know if we can. It's not really economic. Let's see. Yeah, we can. I'm going to flip my screen over here. So let's see if they've made any updates. So this is just the processing, check processing times. And so economic immigration, caregivers, which caregiver program? So this is the one, child care, home support. We'll go home support. I'm not sure if that's what you're doing. Check processing times. Okay. And this is classic. So right now, basically they're not going anywhere. Let's check the home child support provider. Same story. So that's actually a good question. And I don't have an answer for you, Prakash. I'm just not sure where things are at with that. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. Jama, hello from South Africa. Good to see you. Okay, Rohith, let's see. I just skipped past yours. Okay, on a 3-year postgrad and unable to utilize it. Oh, stuck in India almost 2 years. Why are you stuck in India for 2 years? TRV processing since 18 months. Oh, reapplied again 1 month ago. Still no update. Had to gain lost time due to processing delays. Oh, Rohit, this is a classic example of why I advise people do not leave Canada. If you're here, you're working to collecting your work experience or otherwise, Rohit's situation is a classic example of why you do not leave, because there are factors outside your control. And yeah, the processing, the Delta variant, all those things that have affected this. My heart goes out to you, Rohit. As far as getting that time back, I don't think you're ever going to have an opportunity to do that. The reality is, yeah, I think this is one situation, Rohit, where I wish that you would have talked to me before you left, because I would have told you back then, I would have told you at the beginning of 2020 not to leave. And yeah, my heart goes out to you. I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's just a gong show with those visitor visas. Okay, let's see what else we have here. I'm trying to find some new ones that have not been adjusted. Let's see here. Abdul. Hey, what's up, Mark? Abdul, you're hilarious. Oh, you are so funny. Where'd your profile picture go, man? You used to have a profile picture. And I'll show you how I know you used to have a profile picture. Because if we go here to the Express Entry Step-by-Step course and we scroll down here to the bottom, we can see the man, the myth, the legend right here. Abdul. I think this is you, Abdul, isn't it? Let me just double check here. Make sure I've got the right Abdul. Yes. Okay, this is Abdul right here. So he said this, let's bump this up here. So oh, that's a big one there. Oh, that really exploded it. Okay, he says here, this 347 has a great return on investment. And if you think this is too much, count how much you paid a coffee for a month and then see how much a scammy agent asked for, then see the value. So, Abdul, that's awesome. You are awesome, my friend. Thanks for the shout out. It's going fantastic. Catherine's over in Oman. Hello, Catherine. Welcome. Okay, Noah says, I'm working as an assistant manager at a small convenience store and getting paid minimum wage because of the size of the store. Is there any minimum wage limit for occupations for ECC? Not really. There isn't. Although it'd be great to see that you're getting paid, the prevailing wage rate. The only thing I see when you are being described as an assistant manager is that an officer could question whether or not you were actually performing the duties of an assistant manager if you were paid this at the same rate as someone who is not a manager. That's the only issue. But there's no specific rules against, claiming Canadian work experience, when you're being paid under the market value, which really irritates me when that happens. Happy New Year to you too, Abdul. Okay. Janet says, my family applied for the private sponsorship visa in 2019 September. I got my AOR February 2020. After that, no updates. Can I expect something this year at least? Janet, I can't answer that. I'm just not sure. I know that asylum and refugee is a priority for this government. But in terms of any paper-based application, they're slowly trying to make things better. Karthik, good to see you. Excited to see you after a long time. Happy New Year to you as well. Then we've got Han is over in Uzbekistan. Wow. Thanks for connecting in. Good evening to you. Good morning to me. Okay. Eric says, any chance for an ITA SINP score 62? I think you guys know when you go to the Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program website, you can see the range of scores that they're looking for. I don't think I can pull it up right now. Let's see here. Let's see what we've got here. If we can pull this up. I'm not quite sure if we've got it. They're constantly changing the links on me. And so it's often difficult to figure out what the latest draws are. Yeah, I'm not going to go searching. I'll be hunting forever trying to find that, Eric. So, but any chances for an ITA SIMP score 62? It's really, really hard to say. And I think as more and more people transition from within Canada to permanent residence, I think those provinces are going to have to soften some of their stances, and the programs are not going to be as competitive, especially paper-based applications. I know they're definitely not as popular as anything express entry related that goes quicker. So yeah, it's hard to say for sure, Eric. I'm not sure about that one. 70, 62, 62 seems a little bit on the lower end right now, Eric, but we'll just have to see how it plays out. Okay. Desi says, will they open back any pathway for any healthcare worker? Well, I think, like I said, that if they are going to, I think that's one program where we could see it. Anmol. Oh, Anmol. Hey, he says, I got my PR. I'm going to give you one of these. Celebration. That's awesome. I wonder if I have any. Oh, maybe this one too. Let's see. Yes. Yoo-hoo! Anmol, fantastic. That is so awesome. Okay, so Anmol's got, and let's see. I clicked off the wrong one. I got to turn off my confetti here. He says, I got my PR, applied for the application, watching your videos, and your express entry course is the best. We know everything what's going on in our file. Thank you, Mark. Hey, Anmol, it was an absolute pleasure having you join me. And the one that he's talking about, you guys, is this one right here. So all you have to do is come over here, click on this link right now to reserve your spot. And yeah, I love this course. This course I've been doing it for so long. I've got a very audacious goal this year of completing 5 new courses, immigration courses, by the end of Q1. So within the next 3 months. And the spousal is just the first one, you guys. So if you haven't yet, and you're thinking about sponsoring your spouse, this stuff is timeless. Let's go back one page here. All you have to do is go right here, and the course is launching January the 10th to the 15th. And you can get, you can click here to get notified when registration opens, and it's literally going to open today or tomorrow. So we're going to have that open for you guys. And I'm so excited because it's going to be the very first spousal sponsorship course. And I think probably next to Express Entry, I think spousal sponsorships are the next highest number of applications that we help our clients with through our collaborative review process. So very cool. Okay, Nicola, Happy New Year to you. Yes, Prakash, this is something that we have seen. We've talked with immigration about. We'll see what their response is. They've taken it away. They're supposed to get back to us this month, the Canadian Bar Association and the other immigration practitioner groups about this issue. Yeah, it's horrible. You know, the fact that nothing is going forward with those caregiver applications. You know, I had huge issues with it right from the beginning. And when they announced this program, these were some of the problems that we saw. And in the past, I think some of you also may know, if you go to, let's see here, I'm trying to think if we've done any on the caregiver program. I know that I've done podcast episodes on it, but when that program was first announced, Prakash, that was the issue. We saw this happening even before the pandemic. So, oh boy, if I hear anything, I will let you guys know. Chanel, will they be opening TR to PR pathway this year? I really don't think so. I don't. I think they're going to be focusing on the Outlanders now, as they've gone through a significant push for transitioning temporary residents to permanent residents. So yeah, I think it's unlikely that they would do it. There was some discussion with Minister Mendicino, the previous immigration minister. He kind of hinted at they were looking at maybe doing something for example, for refugee claimants who were working in the healthcare facilities, you know, with the seniors facilities, and were on the front lines, and excuse me, who had made so many sacrifices. There was the Guardian Angel program in Quebec, and they were, you know, maybe talking about something like that. But we'll just have to see what happens. Kay says, Happy New Year to you and your family. I joined your TR to PR course last year and got my PR last December. I just want to say thank you for all you do. You guys know what's coming here. We have got that, and we have got some celebration. That's awesome, Kay. Oh man, there were so many people that went through and took that TR to PR pathway course with me, and I absolutely loved it. It was just, oh, it was so much fun. It was so rough and tumble, and I don't think there was anyone out there that had more knowledge about the TR to PR program than I did. And what do most people do when they're in a position of knowledge and power? Well, what do, you guys? They kind of hoard it and say, hey, we've got all the answers, pay me, and then I'll share it all with you. But the reality is, notwithstanding the people that actually subscribed and took the course and all of the things that I told them how to prepare for their TR to PR pathway, notwithstanding that, you can go back and you can see within the YouTube, the previously posted videos. If we go back to the homepage, and if we look at, actually, let me go here to this on our channel. You can see here that when we look at the popular updates or popular uploads, I think right here, you can see, are you eligible? 47,000 views. This is one of the most popular videos that I had. Why? Because the moment I learned anything from the government, I shared it with the Canadian Bar Association, because during that time I was the national chair. I shared it with those lawyers first. Then I immediately did a live stream to share insight on it. So Kay, it just makes me so happy to know that I played this small little part in your journey and your success. So wonderful. Okay, let's see here. Okay, this, I think, yes. Okay, traveling and eating. That sounds like a good plan. Please, Spousal Outland, August 2019. Yeah, my heart breaks for you. Remedical done on August. Pre-arrival, July 2021. Still waiting for any update. I know. And the thing is, the government has confirmed. And in the previous videos that I did, if we scroll down to them and just go to the videos here, I did one on this, let's just see here, the green one here, the money one. I did an episode on where the government is spending their money, and listed on that list of priorities is the reunification of spouses. So I'm just hoping that, this will happen sooner rather than later for you. That's just an unbelievable amount of time that you've been waiting. And I couldn't imagine being separated from a spouse for that time. So my heart breaks for you. And the moment I have any new information, I will share it. Okay, this one, Simran Jat says, can a corporation be employer for home support childcare or home support worker pilot, or it has to be private household only? Simran Jat, this is where I'm going to encourage you to slide over. I don't know everything about that program myself, and that's why I have taken the steps to bring in some awesome, knowledgeable lawyers and that are really smarter than I am. And so we've got Alicia here, and like I said, Chanel and Susan. And I had a wonderful discussion with a lawyer from Ottawa recently, and I'm hoping that she will join us as well. But these guys are way smarter than I am, and I encourage you to book a consult because they have a lot more knowledge and experience with that particular program. And so sure, we could spend the time, we could go and we could look it up. The policies are clearly laid out, but it's not something I have time to do in the midst of our live Q&A here. But book a consult, and that's my little bell ringing. And go and we can walk through it with you. This is an interesting one. Tosin says, what is the role of a secondary visa office? Mine just got changed from Hong Kong to OPS Support Center, Ottawa. How will this affect my PR application? All parameters past October 2020. Thanks. Well, here's the neat thing about this global network. So as they've modernized and allowed applications to be submitted electronically, they have the ability to move those throughout the whole processing network. Virtually anywhere your application could be processed. I remember some of my clients as spousal sponsorship that I did a collaborative review with them. They were from the US. They lived near Princeton, and they were living in the US. And as soon as the spousal sponsorship was approved, the sponsor was a Canadian citizen. They were going to be moving to Ottawa. Well, they received their final instructions and everything for landing from Mexico. And so that I wouldn't, think too much past it, other than immigration is doing what they can to allocate files to processing centers that are maybe not as busy or specially set up to help with it. And I love this Ops Support Center. In Ottawa, there are millions of dollars that have been attributed or now assigned to helping with these processing. Okay. Let's see here. So we've got lots of questions still about the predictions. I'm still holding out for January, you guys, for FSW. I'm holding out for January. Okay, Zakaria, no draw yet today. We looked at that. Hopefully there will be one later this afternoon. Maybe it'll just be PNP. Maybe we'll get a big surprise. We just don't know. But I'll tell you, the moment I see it, I'll be going live and celebrating. Okay. Let's see who else we have here. Henry says, greetings from Mauritius. I appreciate all you and your team are doing for us outside Canada during these uncertain times. Thank you, Henry. I really appreciate that. One of the things that gives me the desire to keep doing this is specifically because of this, Henry. So thank you. That means a lot. And I know it means a lot to myself and the other members of my team with Healthy Immigration Law. And if we can make just even the smallest little difference in the lives of people, make the process just that much easier, we can help them to avoid the pitfalls that are causing people to get applications refused, and heaven forbid 5-year bars, which, my goodness, the government is going crazy with misrep the way they're applying it. It's so cruel. Hardy, I would love to have Minister Fraser join me on the show. That would be awesome. Although I did receive some very sad news, and that's that the program manager for the Alberta Immigrant Nominee Program is retiring. And they've got some great new people that are there, but he started with the AINP kind of the time in which I started, maybe a little bit later. It was right around 2005 probably. And that was when I kind of cut my teeth, although I was working in the industry since 2002. I really was officially called as a lawyer 2005. And that's kind of when he started around that time with the AINP. So yes, it would be great to have Minister Fraser join me, but we'll see. You guys keep liking and subscribing and getting a big audience, and maybe the minister will deem it worthy enough to come. We'll see. All right. Let's see what else we have here for other questions. Yeah, Rohit, we see this all this time. Can we expect improvement in GSS? Yes, we can. The global skills strategy is a priority for sure. And currently looking at September 5th to 11th applications. Yeah, I know it's really behind. It really is. And they're supposed to process these quickly. So I know they've, like I said, they've added some dollars to try to work on this. And so hopefully that will have direct ramifications in the processing, especially of the GSS work permits. Okay. Abby says, if you're a dual citizen, can you still obtain PR and citizenship in Canada? Well, Canada doesn't care what your citizenships are for other countries. It's up to them. So it's only if there's a restriction on the other end of the other country. Canada doesn't care if people hold dual citizenships. Okay. All right, Henry, this is a good question. What are my chances with a CRS ranking of 472 in the FSW category? What would you advise I do as an alternative to FSW? Well, there really isn't a lot of alternatives to FSW. The same thing that people have been saying since the beginning of time. See if you can get a job offer, a legitimate job offer. And that reminds me, once again, I'm going to point you guys all back to our website, our firm website. Go to the site, holthylaw.com, and you will see in resources right here, we have a blog. And there are some phenomenal blog posts now. How long can I stay in Canada after my work permit expires? Alicia is going to join me on this one. But this is one that you guys absolutely want to check out. There's information for individuals, for employers on what you do if you're waiting for that draw. The draw hasn't come and now you're wondering what is going to happen. What are my options? So this one, you absolutely want to check this one out that Alicia launched December the 15th. And we also have one from on the job offer discussion. All you need to know about job offers in Canada. This one was written by Chanel, and she just went through this process not too long ago herself. And the reality is there's some really, really great insights that Chanel shares based on her personal experience and her experience as a Canadian immigration lawyer. So you want to check those out. Back to the question, 472, is it going to be enough? I don't think initially. I think it's going to take some time for the totals to start to drop down. Why do I say that? Well, if we go over here to the actual draws, you'll see here that the last draw that we had for FSW was way back in, well, probably, I think it was the 23rd of December of 2020. Okay, that's September. We'll go ahead one more here. Just bear with me, you guys, as I fumble my way around here. So if we go back to December the 23rd was the last time we had a no program specified draw. It got down to 468 because they did a ton of draws in a row. From October to December, you can see 4,500, 4,500, 5, 5, 5. And that's what caused the score to go down. But you can see once you hit this spot right here, 468, 469. Well, what is 469? Well, once again, that's what I cover in my Express Entry course, but it's essentially 3 years of skilled work experience, 29 years old, master's degree in CLB 9. So lots of people fit into that category at 469. So if you're going to 472, which was this one right here, over a year ago, I can tell you that when you look at the numbers of people that are in the pool, and if we'll just jump back here, see what we've got. Gotta go back a couple more here and one more right here. So if you look back, you can see after the last draw, December the 22nd, these were the stats that they posted December 20th. Excuse me, sneeze. Let's see. Seems like they're always in twos for me. Excuse me. So if you look at December the 20th here and you look at who was in the pool, you can see there are over 4,000 people that are from 501 to 600. These are PNPs, okay? So realistically, all of these were flushed out because it was only a PNP draw on December the 22nd. But if you scroll down here, you'll see that there are 4,604 in the 500 to 600 range. And when you go down here to 491, 2,500, 481, there's 5,000 people. That's crazy. There's so many people. And then 471 to 480, you can see how massive. So these numbers here it's going to take a long time to flush out to reach down to 472. So hopefully that's helpful, Henry. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Hans says, and we'll answer a couple more here and then we'll wrap up. I'd like to ask for job places before moving to Canada. I'm from Uzbekistan and I have a master's degree in the field of technical documentation in Germany. Can I find a job before I go to Canada? And that's not something that I specialize in. We're not a recruiting company. We just handle, well, I can't say specialize because that's what the Law Society says. I can't say that. We focus exclusively on immigration within our practice. And when it comes to recruiting and job placements, that's not something that I delve into, Han. Okay. You're welcome, Desi. Happy New Year to you too. Okay, let's see if we can get a couple more before we wrap this up. Okay. Yes, and we've got lots of people processing times, TR to PR. I have to assume that things are going to be picking up with the extra dollars that are being attributed to processing of applications. So it's hard to say June 22nd. You'll be kind of in the later rounds for sure, but I'd say shoot for mid-year. I think that's probably a fair statement, Raywal. Okay, let's see what we have here. Let's see here. I would love to see what this emoji is. It's hilarious. Like when people put emojis in, wash hands. I think it must be maybe, is it praying? I don't. It's so funny. I guess I could look up the live stream and see what we have here. I see that all the time, that comment. And let's see. I don't know if I can actually see that in the comments. Oh, let's see. Maybe it's, let me see if I can find this. I'm now on a mission here to figure this out. Well, it doesn't look like I can see it. I think it's moved so quickly that I probably can't even see it now. Let's see here. You guys are always putting emojis. So I've got kind of a wave, maybe it's a wave. There's a lot of waves. So I'm assuming that's probably what it is. I think so. I think it's a wave. Anyways. Okay. Well, we'll leave it at that. I'm waving back to you, Diana. Okay. Okay. Katamba says, hey, Mark, I am Katamba from Uganda. Hello, Katamba. Your longtime follower. My adopted sister did not include me on her profile, but we have all the adoption letters before I turn 18. Can I claim the points? Consult, Katamba. You need to book a consult because I'm assuming when she became a permanent resident, she didn't list you, right? And if that's the case, now you're trying to probably claim those extra 15 points for a sibling in Canada, I'm assuming. But I highly, highly recommend that you book right here. Head on over to our site and book a consultation. All right. All right. And there should be a link right below. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. Okay. Rohan says there are no travel restrictions now, but Ontario is under lockdown. Can that further delay application processing and the clearing of backlogs? No, Rohan, I don't think so. At the end of the day, immigration has finally figured out how to process things remotely. They've figured out how to keep things moving forward, even in spite of lockdowns. They've learned that over the almost 2 years that we've been in this nightmare. They've allocated millions and millions of dollars towards modernizing the processing. And so even though Ontario is under lockdown, I don't believe that that it's going to delay processing for immigration, people that are destined to Ontario. Okay, no more than any other travel restriction to Canada generally. Okay, Nishant says, hey, Mark, I hope you're well, and maybe we'll finish off with Nishant. I'll see if there's any other super chats out there that I have missed, but I'm with AOR May 30th, 2020, called IRCC yesterday. They said the recent work was done on my eligibility December 17th, which states eligibility review required. Nishan, I don't know if there's more for you, my friend. Let's see if I can find the rest of your question here. Okay. Maybe it's this. What is eligibility review required? This is the last work done on my file as per call with RC yesterday. Okay. This, Nishant, is called book a consult with me. Review required means that there's something in there that you didn't do right, or there's some document that they're not on the surface accepting, which is affecting your potential eligibility. So Nishant, this is something where you absolutely need to reach out and book a consult with me so that we can look through everything, because there's something that is not quite right with your application. And usually these things are not good. So book a consult, Nishant, and we can sort through this and see if we can identify it. And what do? Well, I go through the process of essentially reviewing your entire application to see where the problem is, just as if I was an officer, which I was years ago. So there we go. All right, guys, I think we're going to wrap up with that. I'm just going to check to see if I'm missing anyone else. I don't think so. Nope, that looks like all of it. So I want to express appreciation. We'll turn on a little bit of wrap up music here, but I want to thank everybody for tuning in this special 9 to 10 hour slot, because I've got a meeting I have to get to right now. But thank you so much for being here. Those of you who didn't get your question answered, understand that even within here, the questions and the answers that are given are very, very superficial. We can never dive into the specifics of your unique situations. That's just a reality. Remember that tomorrow, if I go back to the YouTube channel here, and let me scroll back here. Okay, you'll see if you're on the homepage, absolutely like and subscribe to this channel, share it with everybody. We're doing pretty good. We're up to, I think, about 35,000 or something. I can't remember subscribers. But you guys, let me just turn the sound down a bit here. You'll see here that right here, Immigration Live with Q&A tomorrow at 11 a.m. Alicia and I will be back if you didn't get your questions answered today. And yes, Omar says you missed me. Omar, I missed way more than you. And so can we have another Q&A next week, hon? It is right here tomorrow, 11 a.m. with Alicia. And one cool thing is that Alicia has her, she now has her new Mac. And so she's going to be starting to do her lives on her own, and I will drop off. But for now, join us tomorrow at 11 a.m. And I will also be doing another live with Chanel. So please check that out. And yeah, like and subscribe. And one last little tip I'll give here is that when you're on the channel, you can actually search through all of the previous videos that I've done, and there's a ton in there. And I'm sure that a lot of you, if you didn't get your answers to your questions today, head on over, book a question, and book a consult, and we can help you with your specific needs. That's the best advice that I can give you. And remember also that the courses are going to be launching. So spousal sponsorship, go here, click on get notified, and you'll probably get that email either later today or tomorrow. And then when it comes to the express entry itself, that one is going to be launching, well, really as soon as the next draw is, but I predicted February to March. Okay. All right. So Prakash, thank you for the positive comments. And those of you who are around, we'll see you tomorrow. I keep pushing the wrong button. It's been another awesome live Q&A. Happy 2022, you guys. Take care.